So Eleanore Kelly here with Di Lampard. Di, tell me about your role for the show jumping team.
Well, my role is world-class performance manager for the show jumpers, and we've put a lot of planning into getting the team together to announce the team today.
And how long have you been involved with the British team?
I've been involved 18 months, it'll be 2 years in February.
And throughout that process, I mean, how has your squad changed? Has it changed significantly from the beginning until this point?
Very much so. When you look at Rio and you come from the back of London, I said I've been involved for 18 months as in performance manager, but I was a selector prior to that, prior to London. And to see the combinations changing, because of course, as you know, we've got the two athletes, we've got the horse and the riders, and the riders are very well established, the riders that are selected for Rio. But we've had new combinations of horses, and we've had to try various combinations building up to the selection. So it's been very interesting.
And you've got 4 sort of reliable old-timers, several of whom you've actually competed on a team with. I mean, how do they take instructions from you as a woman and you know, as the fact that you were a fellow team member going back a few years ago?
I never look at it like that. They've been friends for many years. I know them only so well. I think we ought to phrase it as an experienced team. With the challenges of Rio, we certainly need an experienced team out there. Very good. We've had 4 of the selected riders here today for the announcement, which is great. When they were told that they were selected, they were absolutely delighted with the team. So the spirit's going to be really good going forward to Rio, which is the main thing. The spirit's carried us for 2 years, and hopefully it'll carry us to retain the medal in Rio.
And the challenges in Rio, I mean, who are the big challenges to the British team's success?
Well, for a start, the course, the well-being of the horses, getting the horses out there, which everything is logistically set up for. But as in teams, the Dutch are flying at the moment. They really are flying. They've got a very big squad for their selections. They haven't selected yet. Very strong squad. The Germans have got a very strong squad of riders and due to select next weekend. But the Brazilian riders are very good and they'll have an home advantage, so we're really looking forward to their selection. But the sport has evolved and moved on so much now. There are lots of teams. We could be here all afternoon talking about it. The French are very strong and it goes on. The competition's going to be marvellous out there.
Now, the sport of show jumping has changed significantly over the last sort of 20 years, and one might say is a little bit more about money than perhaps it used to be. Do you think that has sort of taken away from events like the Olympics at all?
Yes, there's a lot of money in the sport, and the horses are worth a lot of money nowadays, which alters the whole perspective. But to actually ride for your country and go to an Olympic Games, it makes everybody stand up and want to be selected. And we've had no problem of riders coming forward and pushing. We've had a big pool of riders to select from.
Now finally, tell me about Jessica Mendoza. She's obviously on the reserve list, but anything could happen. You know, you've been sort of gunning behind her. I mean, you know, do you think if Jess makes a performance, I mean, what are your thoughts on Jess?
Oh, Jess is a great competitor. She's steely cool, and this is why Jess is in 5th position, because at the moment she hasn't the experience possibly for that big arena. But by being a part of this team, she'll get stronger out there, and her performances have shown this year that she's well capable of stepping into that arena and stepping up. From last year, Jess was part of the team that got us qualified for Rio. She went on to Barcelona afterwards and was part of the team that was 2nd in the overall Nations Cup Championships. She was a counting score both times. I have no doubt that it'll be a great experience for Jess, and she will step up to the plate if required.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
So I'm Eleanore Kelly, and I'm joined here by the legendary John Whitaker. Okay, John, I mean, how many Olympics have you been to?
This will be my 6th. Well, it should have been 7th really, because we boycotted the Moscow one, so we had the substitute Olympics that year, so that would have been my 7th.
And is it still just as exciting getting selected?
Yeah, it is. It's the Olympics is the highest you can get really, and so I think when you do get there, it's good.
And this horse, I mean, is this going to be? Could this be a medal contender?
Yeah, she's a good horse. She's had really good form. I've been riding her 18 months, and she's slowly, excuse me, progressed. In the last few weeks, she's been jumping exceptionally well, and yeah, should be good.
And forgive me for saying this, but you know, you're now 60 years old. I mean, that's quite extraordinary for an athlete, for any athlete. How do you keep yourself in such great shape?
I don't think you can call me in great shape, but well, the horse does the work really. I mean, I ride every day. I ride 5 hours a day every day, and that keeps me fair, I suppose.
And has life got easier as in these sort of situations of high pressure? Do you feel you're better? No.
I think the sport's got tougher. It's much more professional than 20, 30 years ago. The horses are better now. The riders are much better. So I had to kind of progress with the times and keep, try and keep up there with the best and keep up in my game. So I don't think it's. I think it's harder now than it was.
And I mean, how do you think the sport is changing for the better? With the
in a lot of ways, it's changing for the better. In some ways, I'm not sure. I mean, the prize money now is exceptionally good. We have big shows every week with really big prize money, but to stay up there, you need a few good Grand Prix horses. Otherwise, you can't stay up on the ranking list.
So do you think it's become more about money?
It does come a lot more about money, but I think compared to a lot of other sports, we're behind, a long way behind, and we have a lot of expense. We have to find those, spend 5 years, 6 years producing it to that top level. Then we have to travel it and look after it and feed it and have a groom and the horse box, and it's not just picking your golf bag up or your tennis racket and jumping on a plane. It's massive expense. Not complaining. I've had a great time and done really well, but it is, for me, I think it's nice to get some prize money these days.
And do you think this could be your last Olympics, or are you?
No. Okay. Like you say, I'm coming 61. I'll be 61 when the games come round. I've got a really good 8-year-old horse. So in 4 years he'll be 12, and I think he's really good. So I have another chance, I think, after this one. Tokyo, maybe.
And I mean, are you doing anything differently? Extraordinary. I mean, are you doing anything differently to do you work out? Do you ride any less horses? Do you not get on the young ones?
No, I wouldn't say I get on the young ones quite as much as I used to do. I do now and again. I don't really mind it, but I actually don't like falling off very much. Trouble is, I think when you get a bit older, I suppose your reactions slow down a little bit, and I do fall off. I've fallen off a few times this year. Even the last 2 weeks I've fallen off. And it's not the falling that's the problem, it's the landing.
Yeah.
You don't bounce.
Yeah.
And when you're young, you seem like you just bounce. But no, I mean, I'm not. It doesn't worry me. You take a few knocks, but no, I don't do anything special. I just ride 5 hours a day.
5 hours a day. Wow, that's what I was going to ask. 5 hours a day. How many horses would that be?
5 or 6, sometimes 6.
Yeah.
So no, I don't work out really. I know some riders do, but I don't. Mm-hmm. I'm quite lucky with my size and my weight. I suppose that's in a way helpful. But no, I actually feel quite good. I feel good. I'm enjoying it.
So what is it that gets you out of bed? Is it the prospect of winning medals, or is it the bringing on the young horses?
There's always a challenge like this, making the Olympics again. It's a challenge to, I kind of have my sights on it. since the last Olympics, like watching London Olympics was really, and watching them win,
Yeah.
kind of thought, I felt, oh, I wish I'd have been in that team, you know.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, I'm going to make the next one.
Yeah.
But to be honest, up till only the last few weeks, I kind of realised that I had a chance, and my horse is good enough. So although I've kind of been mentally and trying to prepare my horse to peak at the right time, it's only this last 2 weeks that I thought, oh, I think I have a chance.
And what about the rest of the team? I mean, do you think there's a good, strong chance of a gold medal?
Yeah, with Michael, at the end of the day, it's what happens on the day. You know, you need a bit of luck. You need horses all jumping good on the day, and fit and sound, and everything has to be right on the day. But we have 4 real good riders and 4 good horses. So there's some really strong teams around at the moment, like the Dutch. They're a very strong team. Americans, Germans, French, Swiss, all really strong.
And the Qataris aren't bad, are they?
The Qataris, they're really doing well now in these championships. They're knocking on the door. So we have a lot, we've a lot to do, but we know we can do it. If things go right on the day, we can do it.
Yeah. And having Di as a chef to keep, we don't call her that anymore, do we? What's the official
Team
name?
manager,
Whatever,
or...
team manager. You were on a team with her at one stage, weren't you? I mean,
Yeah, I've been on a lot of teams with Di, and I think Di's been very good. She's really good to get on with, and obviously she knows the sport and she knows the riders, and we can talk together and discuss things, and I think she's in general does a very good job.
Brilliant. And you respect her opinion?
Yeah, and we fight for her.
Yeah. Excellent. Well, very best of luck.
Thank
Okay,
you.
thanks a lot.
Cheers.